So this is Matt Boxberger. I want to give a quick walkthrough of the capability of the REDE tool to use this matching capability over here to bring in data from another file and merge it into our XML file for our zone. What I'm going to show today resulted from an accidental change that one of our zone owners made while he was making other changes to the zone. You see the living area here. He accidentally populated all 7,594 records with 1,805 square feet. He intended to only update one record, but didn't have his filters on, and so put it in all of theirs. He didn't want to abandon ship and start over again because he had done a lot of work analyzing the zone to figure out some location factors that he was going to adjust on, and you can see he's got those here. And so the solution I thought of was to go back to Validix, pull down the XML file that has the correct living area for all the properties, and then merge that in and replace the living area that's in here now. So I'll show you how to do that. I think the matching function was designed so that we could go to another data source like our MLS or potentially the local assessor if there's data that wasn't in the FAIRS data that we have in Validix, although I think it should all be there if it's mapped correctly. But for example, if you've got MLS data, you can merge that in as long as you can match up the records. And so we'll see how you use the address to do that. So what I started from then was his file that had all the changes he wanted plus the one he didn't. I downloaded that zone from Validix again and then opened it in Excel. So this is the XML file that has the correct size of the homes, the correct living area. So I'll open that. As usual, Excel will say, how do you want to open this? And we'll say as an XML table. And it's going to open it up. Now the reason we've got to do this step and open it in Excel is because the REDE tool here, when you get ready to match up or bring in this second file, this other input file here, it doesn't have an option for XML. It's either got to be an Excel file, comma separated values, or tab separated values. So that's why we're going to have to make this stop in Excel to do a save as. Now it's going to import everything that's in Excel, and I thought just to make it easier, so I'm only using the address that I'm going to match up against, I would delete some of these columns. Now you don't have to do that. I was just doing it here to make it simpler once we bring it into Excel. So I'll delete this one as well. We'll start here at G and go over to where the living area is here. This thing that's in column M now is the key thing that we're going to need. I'll delete this, and then the rest of these I'll delete. It'll just make it a little easier, as you'll see once we get it back into the REDE tool. Okay, so I deleted those, so now I've got my house number and street that I'm going to use to match up and the living area. So I'm going to do a save as here, and I'm going to change this to, well, actually we can use Excel or save it in one of the other accepted formats. So I'll go here and I'll say this is my good data and save it. Now let's go back into the REDE tool so we can see how this matching works. So we've got our file that we're working on here on the top line. This other input file is what we're going to bring in. So we'll say browse and load, and the format was XLSX. There's my good data. I'll click this and open it. So you see the hourglass as it's brought in, and here's the other input file. It's loaded. 7,594 records, 7,594 in the other one, so that looks good. Now this match button, this is the key. So now we're going to tell it how we're going to match up the two files. And you see it defaults to house number and street, house number and street. It shows you an example here. You can look through a few records to make sure it's working the way you expect. It looks good. It's a one-for-one match as we'd expect, and we'll say OK. All right, and so now it's gone through and it has matched those up. Now you'll see when you click these drop-down menus that there are several fields with the star or the asterisk in front of them. Those are the ones in your other input file. And then the ones without the asterisk are the ones in your original file. So we've got both of those here ready to work with. And now we're going to go down here to this source and destination section of the editing tool. And this is where we're going to do the work. So we're going to take the living area with the asterisk, that's from the file that I call good data, and we're going to put it into the destination field will be living area without the asterisk, so that's in our XML file. And then this button means take everything that's in those source fields and put them in the destination field. I'll click this button. And, well, actually, before I do that, let's go over here just so we can see it in XML file here. So let's scroll across to living. So the living area here, you can see that's all those 1805s. So now I'm going to click this. Are we sure? Yes. Okay, and so you can probably see under here the living area got updated. So now everything's fixed. And now we'll save this, and we'll give it a new name. And I had done this once before, so you can see I've got a name, Matt Fixed. You can change it to whatever you want here, but this will be the one then that's got that living area field corrected, and it still has all the work done in the location comments. And so then we can import that back into Validix, and we're good to go, or continue to work on it in the REDE tool. So I'll go ahead and click Save, and Done, and there we go.